Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Sailing Me Sea. Since our boat launched in Preveza, it's been a few weeks, and as most of you will remember, it's been an eventful few weeks. We've experienced many wonderful but also some frightening moments since then. For those of you just joining our adventure, I recommend watching one of our previous episodes first so you're fully up to date. After a challenging journey from Zakynthos, we arrived safely in the well-protected Bay of Pylos, where we were finally able to enjoy a peaceful night again. There's plenty to see here, so stay with us as we explore this lesser-known yet oh so beautiful corner of Greece. I hope you enjoy the film. So here we are at our extremely well-protected bay. We are anchored only maybe 100 meters off the beach, and we had a fantastic night of sleep. It was needed. And now we're gonna have a look if there is space available at the marina of Pylos. And if so, then we will stay there for a couple of days, because the next couple of days the weather is really unstable. We have wind from all directions and it's impossible to make proper planning. So we'll stay here, do some grocery shopping, relax a little bit, and there is a few highlights we can visit in Pylos. So that's what we're gonna do the next couple of days. Hopefully I also find the time to do some editing, because I'm getting really far behind. At the edge of the town of Pylos, there's a small harbor where you can still moor for free. Of course, many berths are already permanently occupied by both local and foreign vessels, so you'll have to be lucky to squeeze in here somewhere. I don't know how much longer this spot will remain for free, because apparently this harbor has also been bought by an investment group that wants to make a fortune from charters. And so, also this part of the Mediterranean won't be able to escape the lure of money for much longer.
No luck. As you could see, there was no space available for us. There were a lot of ships who stayed there permanent, I guess, and maybe there are only 2 spots that are sometimes available. So now we are heading back to our previous anchorage and stay there for a couple of days, because Tuesday the weather is really settling down, and then we'll try again, and if there's still no space we can anchor outside and go with the dinghy inside. Okay, so our second attempt to get to shore in Pylos. Hopefully now we have space on the pontoon, because we cannot go with our dinghy ashore, because it's just repaired and it needs to be cured another 24 hours before the glue is completed. So I hope we can go in, because we have a lot of garbage and the fridge is empty. And that's something that Karen really doesn't like.
This time, luck was on our side. A spot had opened up and we were even welcomed by fellow countrymen. Unfortunately, they came from the French-speaking side of our country, because an evening of pleasant conversation in our native language with new acquaintances is something we sometimes miss.
Ah, merci pour aider, hein?
Pylos is a port town on the southwest coast of the Messenian region of the Peloponnese in Greece.
How many garbage bins do you need?
Pylos is known for its various historical sites, including the fortress with its magnificent Byzantine museum. Its natural harbor is one of the largest and safest in the Mediterranean, serving as a major commercial route from east to west. It has therefore been the subject of frequent battles through history. But before we delve into the history of this town, we have a few practical tasks on our agenda.
So we are well packed. Grocery shopping, new lines for the boat, new fender, all in once.
All in once.
And I'm sweating like a horse.
We are going to the boat now.
Yeah. And we're at the local fish shop.
You'd think you could buy fresh fish in every village in Greece, but nothing could be further from the truth. So if the opportunity arises, you should seize it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Another rarity these days is a bookstore with a copy service. We were looking for one too, so we had to take advantage of it while we could.
Sometimes we have to be creative. We have to sign some papers at home. So Charlotte sent us these papers by email, but now we have to print it and sign it and scan it and send it back. But we don't have a printer on board, so now we are at the bookshop here, and we can send the email to this bookshop and they will print it for us.
And after the necessary tasks, time to go exploring.
Our neighbor told us that the castle is just a ruin, but the fortress is the highlight to visit. But as far as I could see on the internet, the castle looks quite alright, so we're gonna have a look and see it for ourselves. Look, the front door bell. And something special?
No, it's €6.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah. Let's go.
So let's do the museum first.
Let's do that.
You're the guide, eh?
I don't have my glasses. I'm reading glasses.
Do you have any idea what this is? That's called strigils, and they were part of athletes' standard equipment, and they used it to scrape their body during sport or after sport, to clean it from the oil and the dirt and the sweat on their body, and they even put it in their draft tubes so they can clean themselves in afterlife.
Museums don't usually mean much to us, but this one captivated us. The unique atmosphere of the castle, where the historic Maison building is located, is truly special. The exhibition is divided into two thematic areas. The first, titled On the Most Beautiful Bay in the World, showcases the continuous habitation of Pylia's coastline. The second, On the Mainland of Pylia, highlights the region's Messenian past.
This is called the Voyage Cove. And we have passed here, but we haven't noticed it because it was such a bad weather. But we passed here, further along, and then we go in behind this island, and we anchored here a bit further. So it was just a small walk through the dunes to get here. We didn't know.
In the Makrigianis bastion, within the Fortress of Pylos, there's another exhibition. It showcases the remains of three submerged Bronze Age settlements that we'll be exploring live in a few days.
So this is the Bay of Methoni. That's where we're heading for tomorrow probably. And we're gonna anchor right here on top of an ancient city.
As already mentioned, this place was an important trade route, which is also the reason why such a large fort was built.
What a views! So we are now at the main tower for the protection of the city. And as you can see, all these holes in this wall is to put a cannon in, and there is space for more than 60 cannons.
As a result of regular attacks, several ships sank. These ships often contained genuine archaeological treasures from distant lands, and many of these remains can still be admired here.
And museum number 3. So all of these treasures were found here in this region, under the surface, on a depth of maybe 15 meters. So at first this was a mosque when the Ottomans ruled, and after the Ottomans it became a church, and it's also been destroyed completely, but yeah, it's refurbished, and they did a quite good job. It looks like new. So, and that was our history lesson for today. Good morning, guys. I'm already on a mission. Today I'm searching for a piece of metal that can support this piece to fix the pressure pumps on my anchor hatch. So let's see if I can find it. And our dear friend from the ship chandler is already open, so let's ask him. So he couldn't help me, but a few days ago when we went to the supermarket, I saw a shop with who sells aluminium windows, and he also had a lot of aluminium in his shop, so maybe he can cut me a piece. Okay, let's hope he can help me. So, mission completed. I hope it's gonna be thick enough, but it was the only thing that he had, so we'll see. I think it's gonna work. Yepla! So, after staying for 4 days here at the marina of Pylos, waiting for a storm that didn't came, we are heading now for Methoni. Next couple of days we don't expect too much wind, so it's gonna be a lot of motoring, but yeah, we have to move forward. We're now passing the Castle of Methoni. Must be beautiful. We're gonna have a look tomorrow, I guess. And it's just, yeah, a medieval castle for the protection of the city in the old days. So we're here on land in Methoni. Boat parked just in front of the beach. We have an easy ride with the dinghy. And also an easy spot to dock it. So let's go into town. I guess somebody's getting married. I think there's a big chance they have mackerel, no?
Years ago, I once ate sun-dried grilled mackerel on one of the islands. I found it so delicious, but unfortunately,
No mackerel?
I no longer remember where it was, and I haven't come across it anywhere else yet.
Sardines.
Yeah, sardines, but sardines you can get everywhere, but mackerel, that's something else.
Methoni is one of the most impressive and important castles in the Peloponnese. The fortified city was built by the Venetians and flourished between the 13th and the 15th centuries. The complex covers the entire southwestern Methoni peninsula up to the small island at the end, which is fortified by the famous octagonal tower. Like many other places in the Peloponnese, this castle was repeatedly conquered and recaptured. During the first period of the Venetian rule, life in Methoni was organized according to the wishes of Venice. The city developed into an important trading center because it was a mandatory stopover for all the Venetian ships sailing to the eastern Mediterranean.
Oh, this is the tower. It seems there were at least 3 floors in this tower from where they could protect the city. But I've got the feeling that every moment a brick can come down here. So, time to go. This small fort is built on an island, on a small island, south of the castle, and it had different purposes. It served as a lighthouse, but also as a prison, and even an ultimate shelter for inhabitants in time of siege. So, multi-purpose.
Although not much of the old city remains, one can still get a good idea of how large it must have been.
So there was a complete town behind these city walls. Must have been a very protected feeling if you can live here. And it's just later on that they built a new town outside the city walls where we went yesterday.
and I don't know in what year, but the new town is not so old at all. The only thing left for us now was a short visit to what must once have been the church of the fortified town, and it must be said, this outing was certainly worthwhile. Now you're going to prison.
A lot of noise.
On our way to Foinikunta. Only a trip of 7 nautical miles, but there's no use for staying here at Methoni. We've seen it all, so time to move on and make a little bit of progress. We're just running on engine because our battery needed charge, and in the same time we got hot water, so good enough for me. So we have already arrived at the town of Foinikunta. There's a small marina inside, but we're just going for anchor. Hello there! Another beautiful day in sunny Greece. It's almost the end of September and it's still 30 degrees Celsius, so we cannot complain. Today we are heading for Koroni, also a small town here at the south coast of mainland Greece, and the only thing why I come here is to shorten our trip the next coming days. From tomorrow on we should be having a bit of wind, so we can get to our next destination, and from there we have to go to Kitiri. It's an island between the mainland and the island of Crete. So that's why we're doing every day few hours of motoring now, so we get closer to our destination without having to sail a night. Here on the south side of the tip there's also an anchorage, but because the wind is coming from the south, I was thinking let's take us around the corner, and on the other side we can visit the town. So
And back on the mainland.
it hasn't been long ago, huh? We're doing our steps every day now.
That's true.
Sometimes you stumble upon surprising places by chance. Koroni, with its large castle, narrow, picturesque streets, cozy shops and nice tavernas, is one such place. Town has more to offer as the previous town, huh? We've seen already 2 bakeries, 1 butcher, supermarket.
And they're very friendly.
Yeah, they are very friendly. It's nice. And we are ending this beautiful day with a fantastic piece of steak from the butcher and a nice glass of red wine. Cheers! Oh. We have to go back tomorrow and buy another one.
Really?
Oh. Fantastic. It's now Thursday morning and we just left our anchorage here on the beach of Koroni, where we went yesterday in the afternoon, because the day before we stayed at the anchorage in town itself, but in the evening the wind turns always to the northwest and we were really uncomfortable there. So we learned from our mistakes, so we went to this anchorage on the other side of Koroni, and we had a really peaceful night. Today we're having a big trip. It's about 45 nautical miles and it's to Porto Kallio. It's on our way to Crete, and I left so early because it's getting darker every day a little bit sooner, so I just want to be there before sunset. Next couple of days we should have good wind coming from the north. The worst for the high winds is expected for Sunday, so I hope we'll be safe in Crete. Somewhere on Gania there should be a good anchorage where we can shelter for these heavy winds that are coming. But this time with these heavy winds I'm gonna stay on anchor. I'm not going into a marina. I still am a bit anxious what happened to us a couple of weeks ago during the night in Zakynthos, and this Mediterranean style anchoring or mooring with the stern lines to the quay and our anchor in the front. I just don't like it. If we have crosswinds, my anchor just don't hold. So I'm looking for another kind of anchor, but the best I think there's on the market at the moment is the Ultra anchor, but it's quite expensive, and I also have to change my chain then to stainless steel, so that's also a big cost. So I'm looking into it, but I haven't decided yet.
Only 2.5 miles to go and we are at Porto Kallio. It's a pity, but I had to run on engine all day long. Maybe 1 hour and a half. We could sail a little bit, but that was it. The promised 15 knots didn't show up, so we had to do it all day with only 5 until 7 knots, but when the wind is coming from behind, that's just not enough for our Missy. So all day on engine.
On this side of the mainland, the wind is definitely present. Probably rolling from the mountains, and that's why we have these stronger winds on the leeward side of the land. Normally it should die down during the night.
So here is Porto Kallio, and this is the entrance. So as you can see, it's very well protected except from the east, but we're probably anchoring in this corner.
So we found a good space to anchor here. Although it's quite deep, our anchor is in a depth of 10 meters, but our boat with a chain of 50 meters is now in a depth of 18.5 meters, so it's getting steep really fast. But I checked the anchor and everything looks well, so I think we're okay for the night. It looks like there are a few caves over there, so maybe tomorrow we'll have a look with the dinghy and have a snorkel. Maybe it's beautiful underwater, we'll see.
Unfortunately, it turned out to be nothing special, so I didn't take any pictures of it. Next time at Sailing Me Sea. After a few days of waiting for a favorable weather window, the time has come. We are leaving the mainland and setting our sights on Crete. This part of Greece will pleasantly surprise us once again, and as the icing on the cake, friends are coming over with whom we will traverse the entire island. It promises to be well worth it, So if you definitely don't want to miss the next episode, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. That way you will automatically receive a notification when it comes online. Thanks in advance for watching, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let us know. Until next time guys, bye!